So listen, let's dive into why self-sabotage happens, and more importantly, how to break free from it. What's up, everybody? Welcome and welcome back to my channel. Listen, my name is Crystal. I'm your seasoned transformation coach, and I say seasoned because your girl is working on becoming the best version of herself by 50. So we're just going to jump into this video so we actually get it recorded and posted. But just to give you a backstory real quick, I was sitting with a group of women and we were just reminiscing and talking about our life. And when you typically do that with 30, 40, 50, and 60-year-old women, there's a whole lot of conversation about woulda, coulda, shoulda. And what came into our conversation, and this is why I love being connected to powerful women, because when you are around other powerful women, there's no way you can really fail unless you choose to. But what we started talking about was just different things that are holding us back currently, not held us back before, because we cannot do anything about the past. And you may or you may not be able to relate to me when I say this, but we were literally like talking about why we aren't further than where we know we should be. Do you ever have that feeling where you're like, you do a self-evaluation, you look at your life, you look at your finances, you look at your health, you look at your friends, you look at your family, you just look at your situation all around, and you're like, God did not build me to be this way. Or like, I feel like I should be further along down the road a piece, if that makes sense. Or, you're just like, I'm just worth more than what I'm putting out right now. And it's so crazy because the word that came up for us was self-sabotage. Like, we do this to ourselves. I don't know if you ever experienced the ebbs and flows of life when you're excited. I know this is my story. I'm excited. I start planning. I start visioning. I start talking about all the things that I want to accomplish and that I'm going to do. And then you take a deep breath, a day or two or a week go by, and then you're just feeling like, oh my gosh, like, woe is me and this, that, and the other. So what it really boiled down to is like, how bad do you really want it? And I said it before, and I'm going to say it again, and I'm going to continue to say it. Like, I really love studying successful people because for me, it gave me hope. So when I do sit and I do the self-evaluation, and I'm like, dang, Crystal, like, you are worth so much more than what you give yourself credit for. And I will sit here amongst friends and this is a sidebar. When you get an opportunity, do a SWOT analysis, and when you do your SWOT analysis, do it like every 6 months. And a SWOT analysis is super simple. It talk about your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats. And then when you do your SWOT analysis, go to your circle of your family and your friends and ask them, what strengths do you see? What weaknesses do you see? What opportunities do you see for me? Or what threats do you see? And take in consideration what other people say. You got to sometimes read between the lines. And you take your own thoughts and you take theirs and match them together, because you really can't see the picture while you're in a frame. Like, I know I'm amazing. I know I'm a powerful coach. I know that, like, I'm a winner. It's these things that I know. And it's so crazy because it's like, if you know these things, like, why aren't you a little bit further? And really, like I said, when we started talking about self-sabotage, I'm like, yo, this is what we do to ourselves. Like, we believe in ourselves, but it's one thing to believe in yourself, and it's another thing to get into action. So we decided to lock arms, and we're like, no matter what, we are posting on our YouTube channel for 30 days straight. One of my desires is, I'm getting uncomfortable with speaking. And it's so crazy because to know me, like, people that know me know, like, I'm really I don't know if you want to say quiet, because one-on-one, two-on-two, I love to fire people up. But if you put me in front of a bunch of people, my heart start racing. But for some reason, I have this baby inside of me that is just like moving around, and I have to give birth to it, because no matter how much I try to push it to the left or I try to push it to the right, it continue to come up for me like open your mouth, right? There's somebody out there that needs to hear what it is that you have to say. So we have got to stop telling ourselves, Crystal, And those of you that are under the sound of my voice, I'm too old. I've seen people starting at 60 and they're doing amazing. And when I say start at 60, I talk about total transformation, mindset, your body, and your spirit. So I don't care what age you are. Like, you got some people that's like, I've been in church all my life and I still haven't gotten it together. If you wake up today and you are breathing this air, guess what? Start now, in your 50s, in your 60s, in your 70s. If you wake up and your body's not looking the way you want it to look, or you're not feeling energized, start today. What we sometimes do is we'll look and we'll do the self-evaluation, and then we'll say, oh my gosh. And this was a thought I had for myself. I'm like, girl, you're about to be 50. God allows you to live on this earth for 50 years. And we could all say, all of us, what we would go back and change. However, like I said before, message to the messenger first, we can't change anything that happened yesterday, last week, last month, last year. But what I can control is what go on today. So the fact that I'm walking into 50, like, I want to walk into 50 and it be the best thing ever. Prayerfully, the Lord allow me to see it, because I have a year left to make this happen. And I have big goals by the time I turn 50. So, you could tell yourself that, oh my gosh, you only have 10 months, and you start to sound like a womp, and these thoughts come. So don't get me wrong, I understand. But because the thoughts come, don't mean that we have to absorb them. And that's what we do. When we talk about self-sabotage, we sit and we give energy and we think about all the reasons why it cannot happen for us. So with us doing this 30 days straight, it's like, listen, you got to stay committed to your commitment to yourself and then to the team. And we get to do that in that order. Ourself, the commitment to yourself first, and then to the team. Sometimes we get that backwards. We'll be more committed to everything else before we're committed to ourselves. So I'm excited, nervous, all the things with going into this, because is it going to be easy? It's not. Will it be worth it? Absolutely. But it's like, are you going to show up for yourself day after day after day? You said you have this baby inside of you that want to, be birthed. Well, the only way the baby will be birthed is if I go through the process. So again, I'm fired up, but I also wrote down here. So for those of you, if you don't know what self-sabotage is when we hinder our own success. And when I read that, I was like, oh my goodness, I have so many things that God have put in front of me, that God have connected me with. And as I said before, like, it don't have anything to do with God. It have everything to do with me, or have everything to do with you, because he going to do what he do. But sometimes we are the slowful ones. We are the ones that don't have consistent faith. Like, it's one thing, faith is action. Some people say, oh, I know the word says faith without works is dead, right? Well, let's put them together, because you can't have faith and not be in action at the same time. You being in action is showing that you have faith, because we as a people are good talkers. We talk about we have faith, but faith is actually shutting your mouth up, right? And actually getting into action. That is faith. So God is doing his part. And when we don't find ourselves progressing, then you have to think about it. That means that you're not doing your part. So the limiting beliefs are going to come. The birds are going to fly over your head, but we got to have something stronger and more meaningful on the inside to make you push through no matter what. And I'm saying it powerfully now, but it's a challenge for me. It's not always easy. So you got to, find the things that's going to help you. That's why I do affirmations over and over again. And it is a blessing to actually wake up and realize, dang, where I'm at right now, I should not be here. Like, I'm too powerful for this. I'm too talented for this. I'm too smart to be right here. And you don't get to judge me in my space. I don't get to judge you in your space. If you don't know, I'm just going to say you a couple prayers and ask God, but some of us know. And I can honestly say for myself over and over again, this has got to be, or I keep saying this to myself over and over again, this is going to be an amazing breakthrough, because anytime you have this much resistance with something, there's something amazing on the other side. But a lot of times we don't see that because we're not willing to make adjustments and push through. And like I said before, it's like, girl, you know, you got good devil, bad devil. That's not really a thing, but just those thoughts we have. On one side of your mouth, you're like, oh my gosh, like I'm not even consistent with posting on YouTube once a week. However, you want me to be consistent every single day for 30 days? Like, come on, what is that? Right? But is it possible? Yes. So we consciously and unconsciously commit the acts of self-sabotage. And two examples that I have written down, I know that I can apply for myself, is one, procrastination, and two, perfectionism. Because we always say, oh my God, when I get all this together, I'll do the thing. No, do it before you're ready. Like, build it as you go along. And I see so many people that start with nothing. When I say start with nothing, and this is not, you know, because comparison is the thief to all joy. But what I tell myself, Crystal, is that, you know, you look to your left, you look to your right, you see those that started here, but they're way further down the road a piece. What's the difference between where you are and where they are? The only difference is action. The only difference is that they did not allow the self-sabotage to stop them. They didn't allow the thoughts to stop them. So it's like, yo, what are we going to do? Girl, we going to show up and we going to make it happen. So as I always like to say, I'm like Microsoft's WYSIWYG. What you guys see is what you get. So I'm super excited. I'm just continue to pray for me. I'm always going to ask you, just pray for me that I stay on this road. Just pray that I continue to show up for myself, because I know that, like I said before, and this is not saying this with arrogance, but just really knowing who I am and whose I am, that I have everything that I need to be the winner that I was called to be. So don't allow the material things that you have or don't have, don't allow the friends that you have or don't have, don't allow the support that you have or you don't have. Real talk, if you have this air, you got God, and you got a right mind, and you have energy, and you have strength, you have everything that you need. Now we just have to believe in ourselves and get into action. And it's just that simple. So I'm excited. Today is actually day 1 of 30. We're going to be popping these videos, and we'll create the playlist and have all the things. But those of you that have a word of prayer, just pray that I continue to open myself up and walk by faith. So you have the most amazing day, and I will see you guys tomorrow.